Welcome in. It is the ATB show. You can find all of our digital success at atbshow.com. It's going to take you to a page full of all the links. I think we are selling. Are we selling Rubba Shoes worn game wear? Like, do we have stuff that you've when you take it to the mean streets of beautiful downtown Lowell? Yeah. There's got to be something. We got to, for charity, we got to find a charity.
Yes,
and we're going to have Rubba Shoes start like when all the players are leaving and they hand out their shirt, maybe some wristbands, and we'll get.
Oh my God!
I'll give people my Chase Winovich jersey.
Oh boy!
What a great purchase that was.
Did you actually have one of those? Do I need to ask?
Did you have a you had a wino shirt
for my number?
It wasn't a shirt. It was a jersey.
Last year, I wore it on the show.
Oh, that's right. The big 5-0. Wow. I forgot about that.
Wow.
My
everything
Lord.
went downhill after you bought that, now that I really think about it.
I think at the very least, Rubba Shoes, you should start buying. I love this idea. You should start buying like your sweatbands for your, like on your wrists or on your head. And then those are show worn wristbands or headbands that you can give out to your adoring fans in the streets of Lowell.
I have to imagine you have, at some point, you have gone for Halloween as Flint Tropics. Like you've got the shirt. Do you not?
No.
Bubba has the shirt.
What?
I'll let him. Yeah, you can borrow it.
No, the parties. So I usually DJ a Halloween party every year, and usually it's a theme. So none of them's been sports themed yet. So.
That seems odd. Clearly, you're not curating these events. But anyway.
Can you consider doing Gardner Minshew one year, or was that me?
That was you.
Gardner Minshew. Okay. There's a choice.
That was,
all right.
That was that 1 year takeover.
Checking in from the four corners of New England, we got Little Shoes and Rubba Shoes in beautiful downtown Massachusetts. Adam is in the corner of Connecticut that will not be named. I will not give out 70. I won't do the address. No. I'll never give out the address. I'll never do it. And then Scotty Dukes, of course, checking in from beautiful downtown Maine. Where it looks like
that means I don't have to drop by on my way to New York.
Final construction downstairs. How are we looking, buddy? Did you? Is we all done?
Looks good.
No, not done yet. We're still in. We still have to fix the outside before we can actually put down new carpet. So
you have the light splashing in from the yard, and I'm just going to talk about, as my wife would say, one of my many programs that I watch. Programs, stories, whatever.
Of course.
Yes, love. If anybody has Apple Plus, there is a show called Severance.
I've heard about
If you work in a corporate environment, it is magical, and just behind you, Scotty, the very bleach white ceiling just screams the office space they work in the show Severance, which is awesome. If you haven't watched it, you should, but not before you watch our show at atbshow.com. So we're going to get underway. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Torn meniscuses. We have people that didn't go to Miami, even though somebody said they would, and I doubled down. Dale Arnold starts tweeting, and I'm like, I'm taking this to the bank. I was convinced it was going to happen. And it's still, here's the thing, it still hasn't not taken place.
Anything?
My English teacher is spinning in her grave right now. It still hasn't taken place. Although, to everybody's credit, he is, and I think Scotty would agree with this, he is doing a lot of bidding for people to come play with him. So I do find it hard to believe he would peace out at this point. I do still think he would like somebody else. This is for Tyler, of course, with a plastic steering wheel standing on the sideline. I don't think he necessarily wants that person to hang out. Yes. I don't think he wants him to hang out, but I do think he's probably going to stick around. But nothing would surprise me because it's 2022. Is he the worst coach in the league?
I don't think so.
Worst coach in the league? I mean, he still has a job. Well, half of them got fired.
Yeah, Urban Meyer was.
But there's a differentiation.
Meyer, definitely.
But
would you rather have Arians or Mike McCarthy?
Belichick, yes, correct. Yep.
I think I'd rather have Arians.
Even with Patricia running the offense.
None of the above. But
I just broke my brain with that question.
Yeah, but here's the differentiation. Is he the worst coach or the luckiest?
Who? Probably luckiest.
Arian?
Yes.
You gotta think that Tampa Bay was pretty terrible before Brady got there. I mean, they had a terrible quarterback, but they also had a terrible coach. And now they just have a really good quarterback and still a terrible coach.
But at least
so happens that the quarterback outweighs the coach in this situation.
Where the quarterback runs when there's 20 seconds left. No timeout, so I'll give Arians that edge.
All right.
How many interceptions per game did Jameis have in his last season with the Bucs?
I mean, that was Jameis Winston. That's his play style. I don't know. This isn't the Bruce Arians show. We shouldn't get into this.
No, we're
That's
not.
a
Yeah,
great,
see,
that's not a great place.
I can't.
Okay.
I'm going to bring it. It's almost like at the end of Jimmy Kimmel when he apologizes to Matt Damon because they ran out of time. I just have to wedge him into every conversation. We're done with that. Let's talk about. I don't know, Scotty. Take us to wherever you want to go. Let's start with some real topics that we want to discuss.
Well, let's talk. Yeah, let's talk Celtics. Obviously they leapfrogged into the first position for
Unreal
3 seconds. Which was awesome because of the fact the team was 18 and 21 at one point in the season. But yeah, obviously the injury to Robert Williams, successful surgery, I think today or yesterday, out 4 to 6 weeks apparently. So it's actually a lot better. I think we were all thinking 6 to 8, but 4 to 6, which puts him smack dab in the second round of the playoffs for him to come back. So that's huge. That's a really, really good news for the Celtics. Obviously, huge game tonight against the team that is in the top seed with Miami. It looks like it's going to be a full go for everybody. Little Shoes have brought it up before the loss that they had that broke the win streak, which was overtime. Obviously, a bunch of players didn't play. Now it's suspected that they didn't play in Toronto because certain players aren't vaccinated, and they're not saying though. Even though I did just read somewhere that Jason Tatum on the record said that he is vaccinated. Apparently. So
so did Antonio Brown, but keep going.
But
right.
Well,
Miami's imploding.
Are we comparing the two? I mean, let's be honest.
Miami's.
I wasn't. The situation I was. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
No, Miami's not playing well right now, but it's still. I mean, they're still in first. You know what I mean? With only 6 games left, 5 games left. So.
With a loss, I mean, back to the Patriots thing, it wasn't like you can still take positives away from a loss. You didn't have your best players. Pascal Siakam dropped 40 points, and it still took a good team to overtime.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I'm not saying it was a bad loss. You know what I mean? Like if there's any they played their hearts out, man. The fact that they played so well has been I was really impressed with everyone that stepped up.
Because that was JB, JT, Easy Al, and obviously Robert Williams were all out, and they still only dropped it by 3 and took them overtime, right? Like that. Yeah, as soon as I saw that lineup.
They were leading for a good portion of the game, too.
They were, yeah.
And I mean, also just on the Robert Williams thing, I mean, it sucks, but this sounds bad, but I'd rather it happen now than him do this first round of the playoffs, because I feel like that probably was inevitable.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too, the 4 to 6 weeks, it will include some ramp up time. So he's not 4 to 6 weeks and then he starts back into gameplay. He's 3 or 4 weeks and then he starts into gameplay. What Scotty was saying, it'll put it smack dab in the middle of the second round, but that's already ramped up, ready to go, right? I mean, that's not minute restrictions. That's not anything like that. He's ready to go.
He'll be probably starting rehab next week. A meniscus is really easy to recover from, as far as you're not using your leg for 6 weeks and then you're starting rehab. It's a week thing where you kind of take it easy for 3 to 5 days and then you're starting right back to normal activities.
Well, was it a partial tear or a full tear? Because sometimes when it's partial, they don't even touch it; they just let it go. So was it full?
Yeah.
No, I think it was a
minor full tear, right?
They go in and they cut the little piece that. So basically, when you tear the meniscus partially, there's a piece flapping around in there,
and
every time when it flips over, it gets cramped in there. That's when you have the pain. So basically, they go in and they cut that little flap out, and you're back to normal.
The other piece of this that I think we should talk about is, okay, so Robert Williams, everybody's freaking out that he's done or that he's out for a couple of weeks, which, I'm freaking out about that too. But let's be real. I mean, the guy is probably the 3rd or 4th best player on the team, right? So you still have Tatum, still have Brown. I mean, you've got a somewhat decent bench of, I'm not going to say superstars, obviously, but you've got Tyson, Grant Williams, who's been playing out of his mind, and Al Horford, who, when he's been out there, has been playing unbelievable defense. So, it leaves a little bit of a hole.
Stepping up too.
Say it again?
But I'm just thinking our bench is looking better than I feel like it did a couple months ago, just because a lot more people are stepping up. Like
Yeah.
Pritchard
I mean, I
is
agree.
someone you can rely on more.
Right.
Yeah, because
our defense is going to suffer a little bit because they don't have a rim protector, a true rim protector in Robert Williams.
But I mean,
outside
Horford
of that,
still,
we've still got those core 4 guys. And if you mix in Grant Williams or you mix in Tice, at least they are, serviceable defenders. I'm not saying there's clearly not defensive player of the year candidates, but they definitely are serviceable in that role, at least to get them through the first round and even a couple of games in the second round, I would think.
And also, I think too, especially with how things are looking to pan out, hopefully we don't our really good when we have our full defense is pretty much built for a team with a more of their best guys, a big guy like an Embiid or a Giannis. So when we get Williams back, we'd hopefully be playing one of those teams when Williams is back instead of
the problem is the first round could be against Brooklyn.
The Nets, correct.
That could be a bad first round.
That's gonna be a bad first round.
Brooklyn could be a bad first round for anybody, even if we had Robert Williams. I mean,
Correct.
if they all of a sudden start gelling, that could be a problem.
And they have Kyrie back full time now, so.
Yeah.
And the thing is too with that is it's almost when you look at it, you probably want the number 1 seed or the 3 seed to try to avoid Brooklyn in that second, in that first round matchup. So you want to go, you don't really want that second seed. You let Milwaukee have that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever. So in the final 6 games, 4 out of the 6 are playoff teams, with Indiana, Washington kind of thrown in there. But the last 2, Milwaukee will be jockeying probably still for some playoff positioning, but Memphis probably will be or might be even set. So I don't even know how much that's going to really count. So, there could be some additional rest for the guys. And to your point, Adam, is, losing Time Lord is obviously really important, but they've played so many games without him. I mean, the dude hasn't he's not like an 82 game guy. You know what I mean? There's not really any 82 games, but you know what I mean? He's not a 75, 77 game guy. He hasn't been. Yeah. So the team's done it before. So I think it's not the most critical loss at this juncture of the season for them to be able to still be able to. I think if they lose in the first round, regardless, it's going to be an enormous upset. I expect them to come back.
When they announced the injury, Rubba Shoes jumps into the show thread and he puts Time Lord indefinitely and toilet emoji, shamrock emoji. I'm like, he's out pooping shamrocks. All I wrote, I think you guys saw it. I'm like, what's happening? I'm like, I have no idea what this means. And then I'm like,
Rubba Shoes, explain yourself.
Yeah.
The shamrock, meaning the Celtics, are in the toilet.
Yep, that's what I assumed that meant.
Okay. That tracks.
Do me a favor. Use your words. That's all. Yeah.
The thing is, so on this run, which doing the wrap up every morning, I get to know more just because I'm looking at it every day, and you'll be they won by 20 last night, and looking through the box score and be like, they didn't have Horford last night. They win by 23. They didn't have Williams last night, so they have rested a piece on a lot of these games that you're like, even I think Tatum's taking a night off and Jaylen Brown's was out a game, so they have been able to do pretty well on this run with missing one piece. If the other night they were missing 4 pieces, and they still went to overtime. So I think they're good missing one piece. They can still do pretty good. I was just mad. Robert Williams is, now that Schroeder's gone, Robert Williams is my favorite player. So I really hate when he gets hurt.
If he gets injured again, it's going to be double toilets, Adam. Double toilets.
I always hear my wife. My wife, she's the one that calls him part-time Lord, and it bugs me because he has been hurt a lot in his career so far.
But
so it's like he's playing so good, and it pisses me off when he gets hurt.
Rubber Shoes, are you when the Celtics, if the Celtics go out in the first or second round, will you be starting a petition to get Schroeder to come back?
Probably.
No.
Oh, interesting. All right.
I thought he was your favorite player.
He's going to be making bank next year. He's not going to make that mistake again.
Who's going to pay him money? Honestly, who?
People are going to pay him more than $5 million a year. That's
Bruce Arians. He'll bring him back. Yeah. Bruce will find a spot for him. Well, a question for you guys for the NBA insiders. If you're Ime and you're hopeful, and to your point, Rubba Shoes, the meniscus is usually, it's self-curing. It's going to be okay. He's probably going to be fine. Probably. It's 2022, so I'm just assuming that it's going to go horribly wrong. So if you're Ime and you're watching somebody get more minutes, who are you betting on is the person that is going to step in if he comes back and re-aggravates it, or if he can't come back and can't be productive for some reason? Like Murphy's Law hits, and of course he doesn't really recover in time, or we don't get 100% Robert or 99% Robert coming back. Like, who's the person you're betting on to be the person that takes his minutes?
There's only one person. It's Tice. Tice will get the minutes that Robert Williams is out for.
See, I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Horford and Grant Williams already play
enough.
And Tice is the kind of the odd guy out. He'll come in and give them a blow here, a blow there. I think he's like we saw against Toronto. He's the guy who came in and played a lot of the minutes, even though was getting smoked by.
Don't you think it depends on who they're playing though? Because Grant Williams has been a beast against Giannis. I mean,
no, but he's already playing.
Can be a beast against Giannis.
He's already playing. He's not going to step up and get more minutes. Like Tice is, 5-10 minutes a game to just give these guys a rest here and there. He'll have to step up. He'll be the one that steps up and gets a lot more minutes than the other guys are already in a role. Horford and Grant Williams are already in a role that they are in. So Grant Williams will probably start instead of coming off the bench, but I mean it's so that's the one up. It will be Grant Williams will start. Tice will play more minutes as a backup.
Scotty just rolled his eyes. I'm intrigued.
I would also just this is more of an off-show thing, but I'd like to publicly apologize to Grant Williams because I think I trashed him for about 2 years. Did I say Robert? I meant Grant. Grant Williams, I said we need to cut him, trade him, whatever, and that he sucked ass for about.
Well, now you just mistaked Robert for Grant, so you got to apologize to both of them.
You didn't hear me do it. It was only in my living room, not on this show. But I thought you sucked ass, but you don't anymore. So thank you.
You was my sleeper.
Listen, the phone ringing is Nesson calling you for a comment.
Yeah,
Nesson's calling you for a comment.
It's the Corey family confessional. He was alone in the living room, right, waving his cane at the clouds, and he feels like the universe heard him. Yeah. We Scotty, will mark that down on the show notes, Little Shoes. Don't worry, we have your back. We'll have the team attorney hold that up.
Scotty, compare Tice and Williams. What do you think? I mean, obviously you lose some athleticism, but Tice does fill part of that role that Robert Williams.
Oh yeah, I don't see Udoka actually making too much of like a static change here. Honestly, I think Tice actually would slide into the starters. The bench has played really well, and that's mostly because how comfortable they are with each other, right? And it's only we're talking like 3 or 4 guys anyway, for the most part. So I don't see, what you're going to see is, you'd probably have Tice start, but as the game goes on, you probably have Williams finishing games where you would have, Time Lord finishing games at some times, but I don't think you break up that, especially the rhythm that they're playing in with Pritchard, White, and Grant Williams. Neesmith played pretty well the other night too, but I think you go with Tice, Horford, Tatum, Brown, Smart, and then you're going to have at the end of the game. It depends on foul trouble, who's playing well, and who's making the big difference. And I mean, for my money, I guess depending on who's out there and who we're playing against, I wouldn't be surprised if you had a Horford, Williams, Tatum, Brown, Smart, and instead of Tice to end the game, but. Again, it's. I don't see them breaking up the bench that much. I think Udoka will kind of keep that rotation as it is for right now. And Tice is more than serviceable. I mean, I don't think you're going to see like a Luke Kornet or a Sam Hauser. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that happening. You might see them at the end of the year in the regular season just to get them maybe give people some rest.
10 minutes,
if the seeding's no longer a question. But I don't see that happening.
I'd like to butt in real quick when you bring up Sam Hauser. I saw something. We were watching one of the games in we were up 25 or whatever in garbage time, and we put in Hauser, Cornette, all of our white dudes and Derek White. And then I saw it was a picture of just all the white blonde dudes from the back, and they said somehow none of these people are Gordon Hayward.
Oh my God.
That's very good. I like that.
I saw Hauser play with the Maine Celtics, and the dude can play. I mean, the dude can flat out play. I agree with you that he's not gonna be in the rotation, obviously, but he might be a good spot up shooter.
Time to bring Taco back.
Yes. Oh. Where is Taco? Did we lose Adam?
Adam froze up.
Adam's glitching
on the bench.
Oh, you're back.
Not now, but maybe in 2 years. I like him. I think he plays.
We didn't hear what you said for the last 2 minutes.
We appreciate your deep thoughts. Your dial up in Connecticut locked up on us. Oh no!
You got us.
Oh no!
I don't think he's got us.
Oh no! This is so exciting. Well, we're going to talk amongst ourselves. We'll keep. He's gone. He'll be back. It's going to be great. I love how it just disappears. Like he's just like, I'm shutting my channel off. Yep, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. Oh, there he is. Hang on. Welcome back. No audio.
And we can hear.
Oh nice. Boy.
Let's go.
Uh-oh. Nope.
How did it go from him glitching out to him not hearing us to us not hearing him?
I don't know. Now the lights are off in his room.
Where did the lighting go?
Oh, we're back.
There we
now.
go.
We're back.
Yep. Live from the Ukrainian studios. All right.
Adam, you missed it. You missed it. We just talked about the UConn Huskies women's team.
On to the next topic.
Well. It's not like you guys would talk about it anyway, so whatever. A minute, fine, whatever.
No. We're going to talk about it.
You missed it.
No, we missed it. We missed it.
All right, we're on to it. I'll jump into it.
You can jump into it because then we're going to talk about college brackets and we're going to get his shirt out of the way. And then we're going to make him put on a shirt with sleeves because this is a children's show. Go ahead.
So, first of all, I don't know if any of you saw the game, UConn versus NC State the other night.
I heard it was like an all-timer.
Double overtime. Incredible game. And Gino Auriemma said it was the best game he's literally ever coached. And the guys made it to 14 Final Four appearances in a row, and this is his 14th. So, also of note, Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd are a freshman and a sophomore, who are the highest paid college athletes right now outside of any other college athlete. So, as far as the NIL sponsorships, they've gotten the most out of any athlete. So, women's basketball is here to stay, fellas. So I think we need to cover it a little bit. Scotty, you had to have watched the game, right?
Oh my God!
What?
Sorry, no.
At least he's being honest. First of all, Adam.
Oh, true. Yeah,
he doesn't get that channel in Maine.
I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. You so casually talked about the fact that college athletes are getting paid now. Isn't that crazy? Like you just formed that sentence like you didn't even have to put it together. Like
time.
They're the two highest paid college athletes. That's like the coolest thing ever. Because there's so many kids that have opportunity that do stay. I mean, like if those girls hang out longer than they would have because they're able to make a few bucks and they finish their education, help their team win, I think it's super cool. And then for some sports, at least there's a WNBA for some sports, and I'm just going to pick on one of the only sports we do well at Chestnut Hill University. Women's lacrosse. Charlotte North, arguably the number one female player in college lacrosse. And they almost pulled off the Buffalo Bills because they went 3 years in a row getting to the final and losing. Finally win the national title last year. And you would have thought she was going to walk it off, but she brought it back because she still had a year of eligibility because of COVID, because they canceled sports. So she still had a year of eligibility. She brought it back. Our goalie brought it back, and they're fifth year doing their graduate studies, and she's started camps and all this stuff that she could have started from a charity level, and she's clearly monetizing it now. And I think it's super cool for these kids that are going to go about it, because some kids are going to get misled by people in their life that are making them monetize things they shouldn't monetize and going to take their eye off the ball. But I think it's pretty awesome that these kids are getting their due, and it's amazing that two girls from UConn are the highest paid college athletes to date right now.
To date, yeah. Well, the other thing that's interesting, too, is I'm glad you mentioned somebody in a sport other than basketball. You hear basketball and football all the time, but also, like, these kids can make sponsorships, like, regionally, right? So even if you're not a big-name athlete nationally known, you can go to, like, a car dealership that's a regional car dealership and do a commercial for them now and make some bank, whereas otherwise your school is making millions and millions of dollars off you, and you're not making anything. So it's great. I think it's excellent.
What's going to be interesting is you're going to start to see, and I don't know if this is actually happening right now, because for BC, every sport is New Balance except for football. They have a 10-year deal with New Balance. They have a 3-year deal with Adidas for football that started this year. And yet Charlotte North was on the field the other day, and I'm probably wrong, but I think she was in Adidas. So I don't know if she walked over to the football team and said, can I get some Adidas cleats, because she wanted those, or if that's a deal she's run on her own. Right. But it's going to be interesting. Right. You see most of these teams, like you see most of the college teams, and head to toe, because their uniform is either Nike or Adidas or UA or whatever.
I need to figure out how to get into the UNC system just to get some.
You just want Jordan gear, yeah. You just want Jumpman gear. So,
the shoes they get are ridiculous.
You're gonna start to see some of these kids that might be wearing their school uniform, but they're gonna get shoe deals are coming for college athletes well before. And I don't know what kind of conversation that has to take place if you have to stay under contract with your school to be head to toe in certain gear. But the one thing that does drive me crazy, and this started with the NBA. And this, my OCD kicks in, is especially with the NBA, where they used to, everybody, like your shoes had to match the team colors. And now it's just a kaleidoscope of footwear.
Yeah.
And I don't know what New Balance did or didn't do before we started playing basketball this year, but like 4 of our 5 starters on BC basketball were wearing like this pylon orange shoe. Just looked terrible. Looked terrible.
Back when Larry Bird had the Converse weapon, they could only wear black because all the different companies couldn't come with the same color green, so they only allowed them to wear black.
Yeah.
And now you got like rainbow color shoes for people. Oh, I can't. Yeah, I hate that. I hate when it's not matching.
See, I knew that was.
But I know schools are strict with the whole brand thing. Is that random story? But the school Marcus Jordan went to, it was Adidas school. And he told him hey, I'm Jordan's kid, I'm gonna wear Jordans, and they're like, yeah, that's cool. And then the next day, Adidas dropped the entire school.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Which I mean,
big business, baby. Big business.
Obviously, someone named Michael hooked the school up, but
yeah, they figured it out. Yeah, that's incredible.
Pretty wild. And it wasn't only the basketball program, every single sport gone.
Right across the board. That's incredible. Yeah. Go ahead, Adam.
Just to put a final bow on it. The Final Four for women is Friday night, 7:00, Louisville and South Carolina. If you have never seen Aaliyah Boston play, she's unbelievable. She is going to be one of the best players of all time in the WNBA, assuming she doesn't get hurt. And
or
then
stuck in Russia.
UConn,
keep going.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And UConn and Stanford at 9:30 at night, which kind of sucks. I mean, my kids are 9 years old. I got to keep them up until midnight. But at least it's on a weekend.
I was going to say, it's a Friday night. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Stanford's the defending national champions, and the Stanford coach actually has the second most wins of all time in college basketball, men's or women's. I assume this is a good segue into who has the first most wins of any coach in NCAA history. Anybody know?
We don't care.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Jesus. What a dick.
For women's college basketball?
No. Oh. College basketball in general.
Yep. Wooden?
I would go there, or I would go. I mean, it just feels super obvious to say. Dean or Krzyzewski, right?
It's Krzyzewski.
Okay.
The reason I said it's a good segue
that's
is
why
because
I said
we can talk
don't
about
care.
The men's Final Four.
Yes, because that's why he said he doesn't care, because it's Duke and he's a UNC guy based on his.
All right, so you're sort of a dick, but not really.
One of my coworkers had a Duke hat on the other day. Big Duke guy.
Slap it off him.
Oh my God.
I was like, hey, I'm a UNC household. He told me to stay away from him.
It is kind of outrageous, though. Coach K has over 1,200 wins, career wins as a coach. It's really ridiculous.
Let's just have a 10-minute segment where we all go around and praise Coach K.
Well, why not? I mean, he's retiring. The guy's a legend.
Look at Scotty Dukes is like, I will be leaving the screen if we're going to do that. He's not a fan.
Scotty Dukes, are you a North Carolina guy?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I friggin' hate Duke.
Yep.
I also hate Duke. But
we went down. A buddy of mine, and buddy Chris Chernick and I went down.
Chernick, yes.
Our list
soda
of most hated Duke players, and we were trying to keep it to top 5, but it was so hard. Cherokee Parks, Chris Duhon, obviously Reddick, Leitner. I mean, I could keep going.
Tatum
Austin
wasn't
Rivers,
on your list.
I hated him when he was there. Like, there was just so many. There's so many Duke players.
The guy that's on the Bucks right now that are injured, Caruso.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, I love how it always has to be like the spoiled white guy. That's who they like. They're always like that's who they have to hate.
That's
the school. I mean, that's just like you basically that's what they attract. That's what goes to that school.
Wow, I didn't know there was such hatred here.
A lot of vitriol in the room. How you doing, Adam? You look great. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you too.
You and I can stay out of this one. Yep.
UMass and BC have nothing to say about this.
Kyrie.
Want to cover the Austin Patriots signing for?
Yeah, playoff basketball. What do you speak of?
Yeah, what is that?
What is that all about? Well, so let me ask. Based on our brackets, I don't know if anybody has line of sight. Where does everybody stand with the brackets right now? Because I know there's points accrued. If anybody still has a bracket that's not broken or not completely broken,
we still have Villanova alive. Tim.
I still have Nova, baby. I know. Yep.
I still have 2 in the final four.
Yeah,
good for you.
Jess and Adam have Kansas going all the way. So
okay.
No, I had Baylor. So if Kansas wins,
Baylor.
I have Baylor. So
basically, the DeYoungs are first and second right now, and then I'm third, and then the Coreys follow out with Billy's tied with me at third, and then Tyler, then Janita, and then Timmy.
I'm in last
Timmy
place.
Has the second, but you have the second most max points to get, and Jess has the most.
Okay. I'll take it.
So
what are the predictions for the weekend?
Scotty Duke?
Oh, predictions for this weekend? Honestly, I would love – my prediction is this, and it's more in my heart than, I guess, in my mind, but I would love a rematch, North Carolina-Villanova. I would love it, and to get UNC to get that win. The way they lost to Villanova a few years ago was just absolutely heartbreaking.
So wild.
It was absolutely just devastating. So I would love to see that rematch and UNC win the whole thing. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm hoping for. Plus, if UNC can beat Duke,
oh my God,
the last 2 times that Krzyzewski faced them,
That was gonna happen. His last game ever in Cameron, and then his last tournament game. Oh my God, that would be. I don't even care if UNC wins the title on Monday. If they beat Duke on Saturday, I'm. That's it. I'm buying a shirt.
Oh my God!
It also always ends with a shirt.
Unnecessary purchase. Yeah.
Because
it's not like popping champagne. It's like I'm buying a shirt.
Barstool put out a shirt. Barstool put out a shirt when Coach K lost to UNC in his last game at Duke. So I'm sure they'll put something out if he loses again.
Honestly, really.
So I guess Portnoy's not a Coach K fan either.
Interesting. I wouldn't be upset to watch Coach K lose. I think that would be entertaining as an I don't care fan when it comes to that team. And then I would love to see Villanova break Scotty Duke's heart again because I just know it will annoy 3 people on the screen. Yeah, and I've got Nova, so I'll just take it.
And you win
you have a you have a stake in the game.
You win the Just for Fun League.
Correct. The Just for Fun. Yes, there's no money attached. Yes.
Oh,
he just wants shirt money. I mean, let's an honest conversation. Yeah,
yeah.
And he doesn't need that much because they don't have sleeves anyway. It's less expensive. Yeah. Scoop neck, no
ones
sleeves.
With the sleeves are more expensive, actually.
Yeah. Very reasonably priced. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I will be the person that goes in favor of Duke. I've always loved Duke. As a fan that has no stake involved, I have, I'm a UMass guy first, but if I had to pick out of the Final Four, I would pick Duke. I hope it's Duke and Villanova in the finals. I have a kid on my basketball team that loves Villanova, so I'll be rooting for Villanova against Duke. Although I do like the idea of a Cinderella finish for Coach K. I love that idea. I think that's great and would be great for college basketball. So
on the heels of that, Adam, with the money I don't win, I will drive down past your house and not take you out to dinner.
Oh, sounds great.
Perfect.
I didn't need a college basketball tournament for you to do that. So.
As we do. Yes. I would have swung by with the money I didn't make from the No Fun League.
Right.
And not take you out. Yep.
We really should put some money on this now. I'm only saying that because I'm in first place. I probably won't end up there, but
Does anybody want to do that?
When we do these things, when we do these things, we should put money on them.
Actually,
like our next thing that we do. Okay.
Yeah,
all
our
right.
next
We'll start.
thing,
Yeah,
our
we'll
next
start the
thing,
ante up.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Not there.
Yeah.
If that's actually going to make Rubba Shoes care.
That's it. You know, I mean, I hate.
Look at him
Rubba Shoes
sitting
is
in his room of
I'm in
judgment.
last place. I
right?
don't care.
Yeah.
It's
Somebody
funny,
put
though,
a crisp
because
$3 bill
all
on this, so I care about it.
All
Yeah.
the upsets, I'm still alive in two of the pay ones I did, even though I pretty much picked the same bracket that I did in this one.
Yep.
So if
Well,
Villanova wins, and it doesn't matter who. Actually, it would have if Villanova wins, goes to the final, and UNC wins the whole thing. I probably win some money.
Enough to buy yourself a T-shirt.
But if Kansas wins, my wife wins money. So
She's still saving up for that lawyer. Yeah. It's almost time. Tyler, sign here. You'll never have to see your father again. Yeah. The best attorney in Middlesex County coming your way.
My.
But before we get to the factors, we're going to touch on real quick. I saw a great meme in the last 24, 48 hours of The Office saying, it's all happening. All right, it's happening. Because people are talking about the fact that Tiger is playing a practice round. So that's exciting. That's a couple of weekends out. No, that's next weekend. I apologize. That is next weekend. And then, of course, after that, we do head into Easter, which is very exciting. I got to share with you guys. We joked about last week how Cheryl is looking for this Old Smoky, whatever flavor it was. She just texted me today and said she went up to Nashua to look for it, and they were all out. But I have to share with you. We always talk about the holiday cocktails that we have at my parents' house.
Yeah.
So there's a decanter at 14 Bentley that is, I don't know, yay big. It's pretty big. And we always have a craft cocktail in there. And she found the cocktail. And this is going to be a polarizing cocktail, I can tell. Not at our house. Although most people, there is no gray here. You either like these or you hate these. Where do we stand on Peeps?
Ooh, love Peeps.
I'm a fan.
No, hate them.
So Scotty's the only one. All right, so my mom found we're making Peeptinis.
Oh my!
Look at Rubba Shoes. It's like, I know where your parents like. Yeah, he's gonna be able to. He's coming to Cheryl's house. Yep. So so we're having Peeptinis. Every drink has a peep on a stick in the glass. It's
Yes.
She's sending through photos. She found a bottle of Citron at the house because I'm in charge of making sure that we have all the accoutrement. She sent me the recipe. Where the hell is it? It's amazing. Oh, that's way too far back. Here it is. Stand by. If we have time, we do. I'll read it to you.
Of course, we got nothing but time.
A Peeptini is 6 ounces of lemon-flavored vodka, Citron, 2 ounces of Cointreau or triple sec, 4 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of simple syrup, and then 2 cups of ice. You can do one lemon or 4 candy lemon drops or jelly lemon slices, and then you top it with a peep.
Sounds amazing.
It doesn't sound awful. I'm not upset about it, and that's what's happening. But
can you take some pictures of it when they're made?
1,000%. If you're not paying attention, and I don't think Adam is actually on Facebook, but
I'm not.
There's always full photography of what's taking place at Cheryl's house with the food and the cocktails.
Oh, okay,
yeah, there'll be photographic evidence of, and it's
awesome.
It's the first day that I'll be imbibing after my Lenten fast of giving up alcohol. So Janina
have
can
you
pull me
broken
back
it
into
or
the
no?
car after I've out-peeped myself. Yep. It's going to be
Now,
phenomenal.
will you eat Peeps like just to eat them or just in a Peeptini?
Yes and yes, 1,000%. Yeah,
Okay.
but Scotty was the only one that said he's out, right? Scotty's not a fan? No?
Not a fan.
What about Ava, the boys? No, nobody?
No.
Well, is that because you won't introduce them to them, or they just genuinely don't like them?
No. We definitely, because my family will buy them. Like my mother, for some reason, has known me for 42 years now, and still is like,
still gets
you want these?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, Ma, never have.
It's amazing.
Don't like
Looking
them.
out.
Don't like them.
Well, what's
both the boys are all set. Ava, actually, I don't think we've introduced yet. So
it's
maybe
probably
that
a
would be-
wise
she's
idea
4,
too.
so she'll
Yeah.
probably
Yes.
partake this year. So
Well, Adam, spoiler alert: if you want the girls to stay up for the UConn game, just get them a rail of Peep. Right? Yeah, exactly.
I should absolutely. I'm going to do that. That's
a couple of bags of Fun Dip, 68 Peeps. Yeah, they'll stay up all night and they'll join Rubba Shoes in the morning for the wrap up. Yeah.
I will share with you my Easter tradition that I have started for the last few years is that assuming it's warm enough, which it usually is in Connecticut, I start a fire in our fire pit.
Yep.
And we roast Peeps.
And he burns his brackets. Oh, sorry. Keep going. Yeah.
Oh, no. Yep. I'm in second place. Thank you.
I know.
No, we roast our Peeps over
s'mores?
the fire pit. Yeah, Peep s'mores. It's amazing.
Anybody who's adverse to Peeps is like, you heat it up.
It's amazing.
Like, how do you make it worse? I'm in agreement.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement.
It caramelizes the sugar.
Is like the graham crackers and all that?
The videos of the Peeps in the microwave.
I do it with peanut butter cups.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Scotty's coming around.
Maybe I will swing by.
Scotty.
Maybe I will swing by. Yeah. Yeah, Rubber Shoes will be over for a Peeptini. I just had to share that. There'll be photos. We'll discuss after the holiday, of course. Yes. So yeah, that's exciting. The Masters is coming up. Rumor is that Tiger is going to play. What is the? And I didn't look real quick. What?
Is it just practice rounds? The rumors. It's not. He's actually playing in the tournament, right?
No, he has not officially announced. Although we're doing a show right now, so he's probably having a presser right now announcing that he'll play, and this is all going to be negated in seconds. He was spotted playing practice rounds, so that seems to be, leading to the fact that people think
the key here is like the fact that he walked it, right? Like
that's huge
because it's the longest course, right? That's the biggest, one of the biggest challenges with the Masters. It's how long the course is and being able to walk it and stuff. And the fact that he practiced and walked it with JT and his son and just kind of like, got out there and the source said he looked really good or, he looked great or whatever. That's super exciting. Rory already came out and said it'd be like phenomenal or some adjective that he used to say like, would love to have him participate. It's going to be, that would be pretty freaking epic, especially, without Phil. So Phil's out this year. He's not going to play.
Right.
So, to have Tiger kind of go in and there's plenty of talent in golf right now that, I love like I love a lot of players in golf right now. So, don't necessarily need Tiger to watch the Masters, but it would just,
it puts it next levels the whole weekend. And he's, in an interview a couple of weeks ago, he was talking about probably one of his proudest accomplishments is his consecutive weekends making the cut. And that's for the PGA for him to decide to play at Augusta, which once you win the Masters, you've got an open invitation for the rest of forever. So it's really incumbent upon him to make the decision. And should he play, should he be able to cobble together 2 days that he is just serviceable? He'll make the cut. And if he does that, there's going to be, when you like DirecTV has, you can go to their mega channel on 701 and 702 and they have all the camera angles. There'll be a Tiger cam.
Yeah,
he could be in last place. They'd be like, he's taking Sunday off. He's in his hotel room, but they'll have a camera on him watching Bridgerton. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter, in the grand scheme of things. As long as he's involved, it draws more people, and it makes it more fun. And I agree with you, Scotty. The youth movement right now that is playing and all the kids that are in, like Cameron Smith winning the Players. And I love because he's Australian and he's rocking the mullet and it drives my wife crazy because every time he walks out, like every time the camera hits him, I'm like, yeah, I do the bad Australian. yeah. And it's just
wobbly.
Wobbly. Walter. So yeah,
it's the worst mullet ever. Like the hair coming out the back, it just looks like greasy.
Well, and then match with the porn stash. Janino loses her mind. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It is, but it's awesome.
Yeah, it's in a good place. So that's exciting. I don't even know. I know it's not a big one because they plan on a lot of people parking this weekend to get ready for next weekend. What is this weekend for the PGA? Where are they playing Rubber Shoes? Do you know off the top of your head?
No.
Yeah,
there's usually one in Florida that they usually do that they do the week before, but I'm not 100% sure.
and it's going to be lightly attended because a lot of people will take the time off to just get ready for the Masters.
Yeah,
not too many lean into
it. Well, BC San Antonio.
It's San Antonio. Yeah, you're right. And here's the other thing. It's also the whole thing with Phil. Like, is he officially gone to the Saudi League?
Not yet.
Like, is that a done
he's
deal?
Just taking a sabbatical from golf altogether.
Okay. Because but that's a rumor right now.
It is. he came out and he addressed a lot of he said a lot of things, and I don't
He'll
have
make a
everything.
big bank if he goes.
Yes, but it's just
that blood
He'll
money.
make a lot of money.
yeah. It's a big payday. It's
can
a
I
weird
ask
way
a
to wrap it up, though.
Can I ask a logistical question?
Yes, sir.
I don't watch golf, so I'm just curious. Like, physically, what do you watch? Like, you watch it all day, and it's just like one guy after another. Like, I don't even know. I just don't know. So I'm curious.
Yeah. So typically your broadcast is going to be like your feature groups. So you'll have your feature groups usually in the morning and the afternoon, and then and then they cut throughout the day to different groupings and things like that. Mostly it's leaders, so they'll look at your leaders and kind of follow them for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can watch it close to all day.
But,
I mean, like Saturdays and Sundays coverage are pretty.
The
pretty
diehards
spectacular.
download the Masters app and watch it from start to finish.
So, Adam, if you can't
You can
watch it the
practice
weekend
round.
after Easter, Cheryl's going to record it and watch it in July. So you can.
Uh-oh.
I only
Here
said
comes
that
the-
because she got into me the other night.
Yes.
She's like, I don't watch stuff months later. I'm like, I didn't say that, but
No.
you do watch it after the fact. Yes.
You
Well,
just said it
Cheryl and
now.
I are good DVR partners. I'll have to reach out to her and see
No,
if I
honestly-
can come down and watch it with her.
To your point, though, Adam, and are we sitting in our household like avidly watching it? No, but I'll tell you this much: when the weekend hits, for DirecTV, it's 2:18. I'll put on the Golf Channel both weekend mornings, first thing, and we're watching usually the European Tour, and then that wraps, and then it'll be the early stuff that isn't on the network yet, like the early tee times for the PGA. Or it'll go to LPGA, then it'll go to PGA, and then it'll at that point bounce over to NBC or whatever. So much like a Red Sox game, I'm not filling out a box score like Rubba Shoes is, right? It's background music in our house. But I absolutely love watching it, and my mom is a huge fan. She'll just sit and watch golf because
Speaking of the Red
My
Sox,
neighbors do. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Scotty.
I was going to say the irony of the whole thing of like the lockout and everything. Red Sox opening day is actually the opening day for the Masters. They really?
yes,
Yeah,
this
they start off
this
the same
coming
time.
Thursday, which
is amazing because I also have the annual chicken and beer golf outing that I do with Uncle Shane.
Chicken and beer?
Shane.
Yes.
So it's chicken and beer. Back in 2011,
chicken and beer.
when
Yes,
the Red Sox
came
came out
clubhouse
after the fact. They blew the big lead going into.
yes.
I love it.
the end of the
Yes,
season
that's
and came
awesome.
back
Scotty has a
back
chicken
in
and beer
and-
tournament. Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Playing
I
video
love
games
that.
and stuff. So we do it every year. This year we're down at the Atkinson Country Club.
So who is that? You, Stevie Chernick, and Uncle Shane?
No, Chern doesn't. He lives in Virginia. So
Oh,
he's
right.
not,
Okay.
He's not in the neighborhood anymore. But it's Shane, my buddy Eric Netto.
Okay.
Probably potentially Nate Dodge and a few
Okay.
others. We get a decent crew some years. Some years it's slim. Last year it was like freezing and raining, so it was just Shane, my brother, and I.
There's more chicken and beer than golf, probably. Yeah.
There's definitely a lot
So-
of alcohol.
Do you do chicken too, though? Like, are you bringing a KFC bucket along with you, or what? What?
No, we don't do it. Usually we get together at some either someone's house and we do a little barbecue or something like that after.
That
the fact.
is the
This
best
year-
thing I've ever heard.
That's awesome.
I love that.
We're going out this year is a little bit different because Shane and I haven't been out since Nam. So we're actually got a hotel room down at the resort, the Atkinson Country Club Resort.
Yeah.
With that tavern, the whole thing. We're playing 18 on Thursday. We're going to play 18 the next day on Friday. And
Wow.
yeah,
Look at
so
you.
it's gonna
That's
It's going to be
amazing.
a good time.
So that's next Thursday and Friday.
Yes, sir.
Hey, lock up your women and children.
We need to hear like some updates from the course, like how you guys did.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'm
Share
happy
with
to-
us.
happy to
So
share. Happy to share.
for our viewers and listeners, you want to go to Twitter and you want to start to follow Atkinson Police Department. And that'll be our update for Thursday and Friday. We'll know exactly where he is. Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst idea. Not the worst idea.
My wife's
boy.
always concerned whenever I venture off.
Yeah.
I would think she would be. Yeah.
So Red Sox. Let's get into the Red Sox since we're there. Opening
Trevor
day
Story made
next
his debut
Thursday at
today.
the Bronx. Go ahead, Rubba Shoes.
Trevor Story made his debut today. 1 for 2 with the RBI. So
I'm surprised you don't have a Story jersey yet.
I'm waiting.
Oh, that's what I was doing. I was waiting.
I
Delayed shipping. It'll be here tomorrow.
My wife and I have kind of come to an agreement that maybe I should start buying retired players' jerseys and no more live players or players that are playing.
Dude, you buried the lead. We're 50 minutes into the show. You buried the lead.
This is breaking news. Like, do we have like
do we have a scroll?
We need a better music to get the breaking news here. This is huge.
I think the Chase Winovich jersey did it. She's like, you know what? Maybe you should wait till people retire and then get
This is amazing.
I mean, just to Chase, what was it, 3 Kyrie jerseys?
Yeah.
You have 3 Kyrie Irving jerseys?
Yep.
Wow, you really do
away an all-star.
Oh my God.
A Kemba.
I feel like this is going to be Joni and Chachi to Happy Days. This is a whole spinoff.
I could still use it as an Antoine Walker jersey.
Oh my God.
So how do we arrive here? You guys are sitting on the couch. You're watching the Bruins and the Red Sox. Like, you're watching all the sports simultaneously. You're probably watching Friday Night Raw on your phone. And she turns and says, honey, I was thinking. Like, how does this play out?
I like the fact that like the Winovich
when I said, hey, you think I could get the name badge off the back of the Winovich jersey? They sew it on.
Yeah.
So I could cut that off and just have the number 50 jersey. That's when it was like, you know what?
And what did she say?
On like Minkovich. That's close enough to Winovich.
Maybe we stop buying active players jerseys.
That's.
What percentage of your time in your house is spent talking about jerseys?
Not as much as on this show, that's for sure.
Touche, and I still feel like he's lying. Yeah.
Well, most of the jersey talk is me and Little Shoes when we're out gallivanting. We'll be, oh, look at that. What's the freaking Michael Jordan ones at Fanatics is like $300. I'm like, you gotta come down. Need to get one that I can buy. I don't have I had a knockoff Chicago Bulls Jordan jersey, and it was like all the numbers faded off like in less than a year. So I was like, yeah, I need to get a real one. But yeah, I'm not paying $300 for a jersey. I'm not that.
Can we discuss the depths of your mania though? Like, are we talking that? Do you have like the Bulls 2-3 and the Bulls 4-5?
No, I don't have any.
He didn't even know that Jordan wore 4-5 until The Last Dance.
I didn't know. I knew he wore it, but I forgot that he came back as that. I thought he wore. I thought he wore 45 on the Wizards, but actually he wore 23 on the Wizards.
So as an avid basketball fan and a Jay-Z fan, how did you not connect those dots?
Well, yes,
it's in the song.
Exactly my thought. Yes.
I have also
came back wearing the 4-5. Like you did.
Not a big Jay-Z fan, so.
Excuse me.
Oh, well, we lost that.
That's it.
We're at episode 51. I knew we couldn't make it to a year. I knew we couldn't do it.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
You're fired.
Show's over. Not a Jay-Z
Grand
fan.
opening, grand closing.
Right.
Big Jay-Z fan. Is that? I lost touch with hip hop when I was in the Navy for a little while. So and that was like his prime.
He's had a number one hit every year for like 20 years, dude.
Oh, good for him.
That's the best response ever. That's the best response ever.
Good for him.
Yes.
Oh.
So that
Go Duke.
So I should be what's it? I don't even the poker face chick. I should be her fan too.
Oh my God.
No.
Lady Gaga.
Really? I want to see you wearing a meat dress next episode.
Don't. Nope.
Let's not do that. Let's not encourage that.
No, let's not encourage that. Well, let me ask
It
you.
would be half eaten by the time we got on.
Oh my God.
So
let me ask you this: when the Red Sox first got Trevor, when Story first came over, there and he left because his wife had their first kid, which is awesome. And to me, I guess I was just stunned at the amount of concern from, well, I mean, and I count myself and everybody on camera as one of these, the jabroni New England fans that were all worked up that he was here, but then he checked in, but then he left to go be at the birth of his first child. I could say it again slower, but I think you guys have all pulled in what I just said. Everybody was worried about him. Well, he's missing out on, it's friggin' January. For him to go to the birth of his child and then come back and get a few swings in and go 1-2 today, I don't think we lost any mileage out of him because we let him go be at the birth of his first child. And there was just a lot of concern about him coming in late. I mean, did I miss something? Did you guys not hear that story? In the first 48 hours, a lot of confusion about why wouldn't he figure that out and plan differently? Plan what? It wasn't even up to his wife. It was up to her uterus. Let's have an honest conversation, it was just so weird to me. I'm like, why are we having this conversation right now about a guy being at the birth of his first kid? That was just strange.
I'm glad he did the opposite of Gordon Hayward and actually went.
I heard a story of Bill Parcells telling his team, he's like, okay, you need to plan this stuff so it happens during the off season.
That's just dumb. I've heard people talk about that story, and I understand if you play for a professional team in Utah and you're having 68 kids. I appreciate that you might want to plan better, but if you're gonna have 2 or 3 kids and it happens naturally over the course of time, I don't know. I mean,
I'm with you 100%. It's life. You got to let life happen.
Don't get me wrong. This story wasn't as big as Will Smith and Chris Rock, but it was just it was enough. I'm like, are we really still talking about this? We went 3 or 4 blocks deep on Boston radio, and I'm like, why is this still a thing? And
I guess I get mad at. I love them to death. I love my nieces and nephews, but couldn't the parents have picked a better month than December to have all their kids? I have 3 nieces and nephews in December. It's like, man, you really ruined Christmas for them.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Wow!
My son was born in December.
Wow.
Yeah, Scotty, you should have planned better.
What a jerk, Scotty! How am I supposed to enjoy Christmas at this point?
They swim when they swim.
Yeah, can you see Dukes? all the kids in the house are at somebody else's house for a sleepover. He's watching Duke lose to UNC. Amy comes downstairs. He's like, honey, you look great, but we got to plan the holidays better. So I'll be upstairs in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was intriguing. How do you think he looked? Did you watch? Did you have a chance? Rubba Shoes?
What do you?
Trevor, story.
No, I was working.
Okay.
I do have another job during the day.
I feel like he doesn't.
No, I don't. I've heard about this job, but I don't.
I feel like it's just sorting shirts. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I wish.
I wish.
By the way, somebody wants a picture of your closet, Rubba Shoes.
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
we got a comment, so maybe we can get a picture of your closet. That would be great.
Yeah, the first 2 comments up there were emojis, so they didn't come through our little chat here.
Okay.
I get them.
Yeah,
They're
I got one of the
emojis.
emojis.
I think that was over our Peeps conversation.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe it's because
most
my Mac
Someone's
is
on my
20
side on
years
that one.
old.
People that are anti-peep, which is fine. That's going to be fine. So was it last night? I feel like it was last night, but maybe I'm misremembering. Great political term. Was it last night we got lit up? The Bruins got lit up last night. It was 6-3 was the final. Was that the final?
6-4.
We got to 6-4. That's right.
Yeah.
What went wrong there? Obviously Swayman gets pulled. They throw Olmark in. What do you think where do we go sideways?
It's kind of what their problem was at the beginning of the year. A lot of bad turnovers, and Toronto is fast. It should have been 10 goals probably.
Yeah.
They had so many breakaways, 1-on-none, 2-on-none, 2-on-1, and crazy. They know how they do that. The Peyton Manning stretch pass. That's the first thing they're looking for. They get a turnover. There's someone bolting to the other way, and they hit them tape to tape, and they're going in pretty much untouched. It was so their turnovers were really bad. It's been like that for the last week or so, and you can't, especially come playoff time. Although the Bruins seem to be in Toronto's head come playoff time. I thought it was going to turn around because Toronto's starter in net got hurt and was left after the halfway through the first period. I'm like, all right, we're right back in this, and they couldn't. They did end up getting 4, but Swayman didn't look good. Their defense didn't look good, but it wasn't even just the defense. It was everyone was just
everybody looked slow. It was 6-2 when I popped it on, and obviously we started to climb back into it, and it felt good a little bit. But yeah, they looked outmatched, and they almost looked like, and at some point they just looked like they conceded to some extent. They were just taking their shifts, and there wasn't a lot of aggression or anything. But
hopefully tomorrow night that doesn't happen because Mother Shoes and Rubba Shoes are going to the game.
Oh,
all
look
right.
at that! Look at that! Yeah, what shirt will you wear?
I will have my Pasternak jersey on.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
What will be the accessories? Will you be wearing a hat with that? I assume.
Of course.
Yes, of course. It's but it's supposed to rain, so I might not have the black and yellow Jordan 1 lows on because it's raining.
I feel like you should. I mean, they're leather. You're fine.
In the rain?
Yeah, maybe you talked me into it.
Can you see him with the blue medical bio boots over the shoes, walking from his car into his
Yes,
it wouldn't match.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
You'll have to get some black ones, I suppose.
I don't understand though when you walk into the Garden and a bunch of guys are looking at you like, really, with the Air Jordans and the. I just think it would look a little. You'd look a little too frat guy for the Bruins fan.
Ask Tyler the amount of times him and I get comments on our sneakers, like good ones, like
of course,
oh, nice sneaks. Yeah, it's. People that don't care. People that care.
It's a subculture. Yes, absolutely. 1,000%. Yes. I can appreciate your collection, and Bubba would absolutely love to see your collection. I'm sure he'll be down at some point. Yes.
Well, there'll be a
to peruse the footwear museum.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I matched this shirt well today.
What is that? What does it say?
I don't even see what it is.
It's just the Jordan
shirt.
Oh God.
And then where is it? Oh, they're right here.
Oh, I like those.
I did the colors right.
Those are nice. All right. Oh, we just took that off
I
his foot.
think these are going to be the New York shoes.
What are those? Size 19? What are those?
Yeah,
13.
13.
I've yet to score myself a pair of Dunks.
They're hard to get.
How did you get them and your dad doesn't have them?
They're hard to get. Well, remember, he works at Walgreens, so when you work at Walgreens, you can.
He got Christmas presents,
Well, no, but I've hit on a couple.
Bought off
They're
the
hard to get them the
aftermarket.
Jordans, though. I get lucky with the Jordan.
Yeah, he's won a couple, but some of them were, we spent an extra, $200 on them to get them for him for Christmas.
I'm gonna put a bow on it, and I have not talked about this with a lot of people on purpose because I was just so annoyed by all of it. Those are awesome. Those are good Bruins kicks right there.
There's a version that has the Wu-Tang logo.
Oh, that's amazing. Where does everybody stand? And all I want you to do is say a name and pick a side based on what happened at with 38 minutes to go in the Oscars the other night. Are you Team Will or Team Chris?
Team Chris.
Team Chris.
Adam?
Guys.
Oh, me next? I am also Team Chris.
Same.
I love it. Across the board,
right,
yes.
Good to know.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a show unto itself, which we're not going to do because it doesn't deserve the airtime. I was stunned. And for a second, and there's a piece of me still, just if you really watch it, I'm going to go Zabruder film on you with this. Yeah. If you really watch it, there's a piece of me, tinfoil helmet, not here, at the cleaners, that was orchestrated.
I agree. Still think it is.
I agree. I think it was too.
Because
did you see
Chris
Rock's
leans his face out,
selling out right now?
What's that? He's in Boston tonight and tomorrow.
I know, and his ticket sales were like terrible, and then all of a sudden that happened, and his ticket sales have been through the roof.
Banged out, and the after sale market is through the roof as well. Yeah, it's funny that we're all Chris and we all think that it was orchestrated because I truly there wasn't a loud smack. He does lean into it. Will walking away has a Cheshire grin that he's trying to hold in.
Yep.
Will laughed
Yep.
at
Right.
first, but then saw Jada
Right.
made a face. It's all, I don't know. And who knows?
For the
mean,
record,
Will's
I'm
just-
Team Chris, but I love Will Smith. I still love Will Smith. I think he was
He's
you
like
know,
tarnished
terrible
his-
move, but I love him. I still love him.
I don't know. Like, of all the things he's been through in the last 2 years, that's what makes you snap. He laughed at the joke
Correct.
and then saw Jada pissed, and he just thought, like, what would Tupac do? They just went up and just did it.
What would Tupac do? Those bracelets will be on our merch store
And
next
then
week.
Jada,
What would
Jada
Tupac
probably
do?
was like,
What would
nah,
Tupac
Tupac would have shot him. I'm not
Isn't
impressed.
that what you all think when you think about doing something? you're
Oh
not
my
supposed to do?
God, that was amazing.
would
Little
Tupac
little
do? That's
shoes
what-
for the
that's what
win at the
Jada
buzzer.
always-
What would Tupac
Yes.
do?
Oh, my.
Absolutely amazing. Oh God, thank you for hanging out with us. If you're enjoying the show, if you want a What Would Tupac Do bracelet, please go to atbshow.com. Look for the merch store that's not there yet.
Right.
If you're enjoying the show, we want you to share. We want you to like. We want you to comment. And for the love of God, Little Shoes said it all. We appreciate you guys enjoying the show, and we'll see you next week. I do believe in a couple weeks I will be off, so you'll be down my NBA expertise. I trust you guys will be able to carry it. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.